Hey, so it's Wednesday, and we are looking at love. Love. The most written about subject in popular songs since that type of stuff has been tracked. We're talking about what is love, and that's really what Monday was about. Monday was about what is love. Love can be described in a number of different ways and words, especially in the New Testament. There's brotherly love, there's familial love, or love a husband has for a wife or a wife has for a husband. And also the one part of love, or the one definition of love that is really foundational and undergirds all those other ones, is sacrificial love, wanting your best even at my cost, wanting what's best for you at great costs to me. That's what. But now it's, so who? Like, who do I show this love to? How do I take this love and display this love? Well, Jesus gives us help. He doesn't leave us out in the dark with this. He tells us who to show love to. One is we show love to other people. We show love to other people. Matthew chapter 22, verses 37 through 40, a text that many of you are very familiar with. When asked what's the greatest commandment in all of the law, the 613 parts of the law, and Jesus replies with, "You shall love the Lord your God with all of your heart, soul, and mind." He's quoting from Deuteronomy chapter 6. I should love God, have supreme affection, allegiance to God, all my heart. But then he says, and also, second one's just like it, you should love your neighbor as yourself. Everything in the law, all of it, you can hang on these two things. Love God, love people. Show supreme allegiance and affection towards God, and show sacrificial love to others. Jesus actually reinforces this in John chapter 13. I want to read verses 33 through 35. Little children, yet a little while I am with you. You will seek me, and just as I said to the Jews, and now I say to you, where I'm going you cannot come. A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, you also are to love one another. By this all people will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another. Now, on Monday we talked about how do we know what love is? We look to Jesus. He sacrificed himself to save us. He gave of himself for our best good. And now here he says, just as I have loved you, love one another. Love one another. And you're not doing this on your own strength. You and I both have people in our lives that are easy to love and not so easy to love. But regardless of whether you find it easy or whether you find it hard, one thing all those people have in common is that you and I can't do that on our own. We need the love of God to help us love other people. But yet Jesus says, I command this to you, love one another completely, sacrificially, seeking their best. And by this, all people will know that you are following me. You're following me. You're my disciple. You are a student of mine. You are following in my footsteps by the way you love one another. Well, Jason, okay, I got the love one another, but didn't Jesus say in Matthew the first thing was to love God with all your heart, soul, and mind? Yes, he did. And actually, Jesus addresses this in the next chapter in John chapter 14. Jesus makes it really clear and to the point. One verse 15. If you love me, you will keep my commandments. How do we see a supreme allegiance and affection for God? Obedience. And right there, we're caught again. Let's be honest. Our track record of obedience is not perfect, not even stellar. How many ways have we failed to obey, completely just went the opposite way of obedience? Like right now, we're in the book of Jonah as a church, and Jonah doesn't just not do what God tells him to do. He's wanting to go 2,500 miles in the very opposite direction of God's will for him. We're just not a very obedient bunch. However, because Jesus perfectly obeyed, I can now grow in obedience. I can grow in my love for him by doing what he's told me to do. And his commands are not burdensome. Love God with all of who you are and love others sacrificially. That's who I show love to. So what is love? Your greatest good, even at my highest price. Who do I share this love with? First, God, and then others. And you may be thinking right now, okay, so how? How do I show love to God, to other people? I get obeying, but what does that look like when feet hit the street in real life? Well, that's for Friday. And Friday we'll discover together as we see how love is shown, both love to God and love to other people. Hope you have an amazing day, church. We'll look forward to seeing you on Friday.